Hey, how are you? It's the Global Watch Along in partnership with Red Horde. If you've joined in from the Red Horde, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. I see W&G has already joined the chat. I haven't looked at how many viewers have signed up and have come on. I hope you can hear me. Everything tells me that I'm working on this end. I had a problem on the other end. It has been a while since we have done a watch party. I guess the Canada-Argentina match, that one certainly qualifies. Just trying to kick this one off and get it started. Didn't really sell this one. We'll see how many people join now that I've linked up on both. So you could be watching on the Red Horde. If you are, that's great. You could be watching on, thank you, WNG. You could be watching on the Global Watch Along. I wanted to try and keep them separate, but the reality is I don't think a lot of people knew that I was doing it. So hey, if you've got the subscribers, you reach out and do it, and you figure things all out. So welcome to wherever you are. If you're on one or the other, feel free at the Red Horde, at Global Watch Along on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Let's get into it. Big changes for Canada, not a single one for Peru. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Copa America and what's been going on and the comparisons as between the two. I posted a tweet that basically had figure skating for the Euros. A lot of flair. Far more technical, far more proficient. I expected the same out of Copa or of CONMEBOL, the South American sides, and I'm going to admit that I didn't really see it. The Peru-Chile game, same group. Let's just be honest. That was an ugly game. There was nothing pretty, nothing beautiful, nothing intriguing about that match. It was a Concacaf war, something that I'm used to seeing internationally. We're very physical. Not as many yellow cards as I thought, but definitely a lot of fouls. So let's get into it. WMG, I see that. Have you seen the EFL trophy groups? Yeah, we've got Port Vale and Salford. Is that who we've got off the top? And then the team, I don't know who we drew as the U21 team from the academy. I don't care about the trophy. I mean, for me, it's an opportunity for the academy to get run out. But anyway, if you're joining on Global Watch Along, I do Wrexham stuff. And 2,000 almost subscribers over there. I'd be damn close to getting 2,000 subscribers. So please feel free to run over there and have a look at it and check out what's happening over there. Today, the game, Canada. I've got the roster here. I'm gonna change this up a little bit. I've had to include the chat, I'll just say this, in here and under the old style that I've got. There have been massive changes in the watch along for the Red Horde. I'm not going to spoil them or tease them here. So there have been some changes. So I had to bring this one out because I'm on two channels. As far as the roster, if you watch the previous game, if you watch the game against France, if you've watched the game against Holland, the new Jesse Marsh stuff, Canada plays an active pressing style. It's exciting to watch. But the problem is we're not scoring any goals. 0 goals so far in those 3 matches against top quality squads. We didn't look bad against Argentina, drew against France, and the loss against the Netherlands. Didn't look bad, but just not able to finish. And so changes had to be made, and the biggest change, Davies ended up being pulled out of his role in the left on the left back line as the left back and moved up to left mid in the 4-4-2 formation that Jesse Marsh runs. And instead, Liam Miller flipping from that left side over to the right side, so no longer inverted. That's on his strong foot. He'll be fine over there. And Tajon Buchanan, the Serie A Inter Milan man, comes out of the lineup. Why? Because we needed somebody to replace Davies in the back. And so who did we go with? Richie Larea. I am shocked that Liam Miller drew in. I know the Preston North End fans have been saying he was doing remarkable. I know that coaches tend to love him. I know that there's a lot of stock in the young man. He hasn't been the guy for me. And the fact that you've got Tajon there, I see him as a definite upgrade. I was arguing even Scheffelberg over Liam Miller. In any event, we need goals, so Davies slides up to be able to do that, and away we go. For Peru, no changes, and I will take this off. This is the lineup that they've gone with, and I will pull this one off in favor of the standard run that I've been doing here with the Canada roster and the Argentina roster. And just give me 1 second here. And so that's the lineup. It's got the stats. I'm hoping to bring that into it again. So WG, if you didn't watch the match, it was actually, we were into it. The problem was our finish. Kyle Larin, who is our leading goal scorer all time for Canada, Jonathan David, who is League One in France's second top scorer last season, only to some guy named Mbappe. They had opportunities, they had chances, they just couldn't finish, and Argentina was clinical. There were some great saves. Let's be honest. The score could have been any range from 6-3. Argentina could have scored 6 goals. Canada could have scored 3. It was lots of excitement. It was a great watch. But Crépeau was played out of his mind, the goalkeeper for Canada. He had basically 2 breakaways, arguably 2.5, because in one Messi took the shot, doubled back, got the rebound, and still had another shot, and wasn't able to score. And of all people, not to score on those amount of chances. But we were into it. It was we definitely had our chances, and it'll be interesting to see this game against Peru, because Peru, despite being a South American style, reminds me of a Central American squad in the way in that it plays. Very physical, very in your face, and so it's going to be a fun one to react to. I will say, the other thing, I've got to go with this headset, not the other one. Those ones got stuck in the vacuum cleaner late last night and wasn't able to go and get a replacement. So I'm going to be watching this one, sort of. I'm going to put this back here. I'm going to be watching this one. On the same monitor, the same screen that my studio stuff is on. So there may be a couple of hiccups. I may not see some chats. I'm going to try and do my best. But welcome forward to everybody who's joined. I don't even have the live counter up this time because I didn't want to get distracted. I just wanted to see who was here and who was tagging along. I guess I got 2 on one channel and 3 on another. That's more than we had before. So hey, how are you? You got to subscribe to be able to chat. Stay with us as we get into it. It's on TSN. It's on FS1 down in the US, and in the link down below that's just scrolling by now, livesoccertv.com. That's the one you want to go to, and do that for all of your streaming needs. They list every game and where you're going to be able to watch it. There are a lot of matches that you can pick up that I didn't even know were going to be available. I don't know. Brendan was at the last one. Murray from Cali was at the last one, and so I'm hoping that they join. I watched the England one on the side from the Euros. The Euros has been fascinating for me watching the English because, let's be honest, I don't think they've been playing very well. So Sam, I love that. Don't you? I was working on that, and I figured out how to bring spreadsheets into the graphics automatically, so it's all automated. And I will even give you the flash. That is the Canadian roster. Let's bring you the Argentinian roster, or not Argentinian, Peru. And so it's there. Andre Carrero getting his 100th cap today. And so it's something I'm looking forward to doing, including maybe some charts and all that sort of stuff, and we'll figure it out. Do I want to send the spoiler? I have a person who's been doing a complete overhaul on the system for the watch party, and I'm hoping to add a bunch of different features. That's probably the preeminent one, to be fair. The secondary ones are, and W and G for your purposes, you'll have a whole new scoreboard to play with and a whole new display to play with. As to the graphics, we'll see if we can find a way to incorporate these in. I am probably going to lose the chat on the Red Horde going forward, and if you're new, again, watching on the Global Watch Along channel, I'm looking to build that one up for international stuff, but keep it separate from Wrexham. But I thought, hey, I've got fans who like the Wrexham stuff, so let's see if they're interested in following along and getting some Canadian content, and that's where we're at. So there are a lot of surprises. I'm working on some live reaction stuff and things, but it will be a far simpler process, a far cleaner process, and the graphics and everything is going to change. And so it's exciting. That's part of the reason why not a lot of content's been coming out, is because I've been trying to teach myself a whole bunch of OBS skills, and we will get there. As to this game, we are 13 minutes away from kickoff. They're going to be coming out for the anthem and all that sort of stuff. If you've watched any of the games, I mean, you had the Brazil-Costa Rica draw yesterday. Brazil sitting in 6th place in World Cup qualifying, absolutely shocking. Not getting the results this year that you would have thought that they would have got. I'm just going to bring up the numbers. Chile and Argentina playing tonight. That's an important game. We are all Argentina fans. If you are on Canada, you need them to beat. Goal differential is going to matter. This is a three-way race to try and finish second. Only the top two go on, and it has to start today. Canada has to score, has to get 3 points. Doesn't have to from this. They have to get at least 3 points from one of the next two games. And I would suggest this is going to be the easier of the two to do it. And that's just based on current output by the teams. It's got to happen today. They've got to find the back of the net, and that's been the problem. We've figured out the back line. That was our biggest problem before. We've got an issue with the midfield, and like Wrexham last season, the problem just continues to move forward. Now it's with the guys up at the front. If you haven't been following the World Cup qualifying that's been going on right now, and of course it doesn't load up the right one. 5 spots automatic. 6 spots automatic, and the 7th spot is available through playoffs. Chile sitting currently in 8th, Peru sitting in 9th. Haven't won a game out of 6 in the entire run. And so they're going to be asked to do a job. And I don't know if we'll get there. So Brennan, WG, all here. Sam's joined in. Let's see if we add Marie. And if you haven't joined and you're sitting there looking at it, hit the subscribe button, follow along, and take part in this thing. So I'm excited about this one only because Davies and Millar were not looking good on that left-hand side. I think Marsh has thrown in the towel on that option and looked for something else to go with it. I still would have liked Buchanan on the right. And if you guys have any input, I know most of you don't watch the Canadian men's national team. I'm curious to hear it. And I'm also curious just generally what you guys think of the men's national team as it sits right now. And I say that because I think that we've got a quality squad. We just haven't been able to climb the rankings as of yet. And I'm hoping that changes over time, of course. But, and I didn't bring it up. All right, if I did, I deleted it. So let me just bring back my sheet. As we go through here. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the Canadian men's national team, because for me, I think that we are ready to move into a top 30 spot in the league. We just have to get results. These are the types of games that we think we have to win. Brendan, I think what we'll do is we'll end up at a testing session later on where we end up doing all of that stuff sort of as a membership group. I want to do that where it's sort of a preview for the members, run some of the videos and some of the alerts and see if it all works. And if it doesn't work, then obviously I can either fix it live or go offline and maybe do another one. So I think that's the goal for the Red Horde come the season. And I'm on tonight. Ridiculous o'clock if you're on the East Coast, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning for me when the schedule comes out. I've got some graphics prepared for that and some discussion about the teams that are going on. W&G asked me who you're interested in playing, but the Red Horde will be there for figuring out what we're going to do up for the upcoming season and who we're going to play. So by all means, stop by and take part in that. As we prepare for this one. So anyways, going back to my original thoughts. Team Canada, what you guys think, where you think the ranking could be for this squad, recognizing we're a young squad and we've got some talent that's there. Davies, Bundesliga, some team named Bayern Munich that he plays for, very capable. Tejan Buchanan in Serie A. You've got Eustachio, who quietly sort of doing his things in Porto and Portugal. You've got Jonathan David in France, leading League One in scoring other than Mbappe. And so I'm curious as to what your thoughts are. We've got some heavy hitters, and what fascinates me about this one is South American teams very much focused on domestic programming and who their teams are. You go through their team and almost exclusive, well, not almost, more than half are playing in the Peru domestic league. You've got one in Serie A, you've got a couple in Liga MX in Mexico. As far as English connections, you're looking at one Blackburn's Rovers being Yao Grimaldo, who did he draw in? He did draw in the last game for his 8th cap. He's looking for 9. He had 20 minutes off the bench. And then, of course, the intriguing, the only player born outside of South America, they have, or two, I guess, they have Oliver Son, 23 years of age, a Danish player who has signed up for them. So It's going to be interesting to see Peru wearing the white with the red stripe, which means we're in the red. Thank God, because I hate our whites. Nike doing their pajama tops for their kit, so the least we have to wear it, the better. But it should be a raucous affair. It should be a rowdy one. I expect it to be physical, and the question will be, will Canada have the class and the quality to end up overtaking them? The local pundit Josh is here. How are you? You're not even going to run your own this time. You're going to join the global watch along, and this isn't set up as much as Josh and I have been talking about things a little bit, but it's the panic thing. Given that I was violently ill for 3 weeks, lost 9 pounds, well, looking svelte, and so we get to soak this one up and hopefully try and get this thing started a little bit as we go through. I'm nervous. Like, to me, this is a big moment for Canadian football. We made the World Cup. We were the kings of Concacaf. We came out of World Cup qualifying, the best team through the World Cup qualifiers. And then we stepped backwards. We had an internal fight. Canada soccer and money and governance and protests and all. We didn't end up having games. And then we had to go the back door. We lost to Jamaica after being up. They needed to score 3 goals in the second half of the second game of the two legs, and they did to beat us. So we had to go through Trinidad and Tobago to make this one. We won that one relatively easily, and that's how we got here. But Canada we've been saying for a couple of years now, this is a team that is to be reckoned with, and we haven't stepped up. If you look at Ishmael Kone, if you're watching on the screen, number 8 for Canada, midfield, he has been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde, but when he is on, he is special, and he proved that against the France game. He was the best player on the pitch in the France game. Uruguay looked nuts, right? They didn't get as many goals as I thought that they deserved, but they looked crazy good. And that press that they had, it was basically like, we're going to wilt you under pressure, and you're going to bend the whole way through, and eventually we're going to break. Colombia, solid. I see a step back from Argentina and Uruguay, but we'll see where they're at. So, Swirly Glasses is here. I've watched those England games. Look, results matter. And for Canada, results matter. We've been looking great, but not getting results. I want some results. I don't care if this is a physical match and we get pulled into slapshot and it's hockey and we got to fight people. Then let's fight people and get into it. But England's looked like crap, but they're getting enough results to get through. Right? They got the top of the table. They looked like garbage, and they're gonna get I think they have a 3rd place team in the first round, and so they've got some time to figure it out. Hopefully they can do that in the Euros. Euros has been nuts. That Italy game, and Josh, I did see a reaction and a clip of it. Brilliant. Against Croatia with the late score. That was crazy bonkers. And so, like buttons if you're here. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. The national anthem, giving it a go for Canada, and that's a moment. Swirly. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate it. Like button before you go. Just so that the algorithm gods know that we're here. As we soak the anthem up for this one, as we go through the lineup. Kone there, number 8. Miller, 23. David, 10. Darnell Cornelius, 13. We've had a massive problem in our center backs. We were going with a guy named Kamal Miller, and we ended up stepping away from him and giving Cornelius the opportunity. He did have caps earlier, didn't get as many with the substitute coach in the tail end of Herdman's tenure. They've gone back to him, and he's been a revelation. Him and Bombito have been something special in the back line. And so massively excited to see how they end up performing. As there are some empty seats despite being just across the border. Well, still a good distance away, but you would have thought that they're in a smaller stadium too. That's shocking. Canada should be doing better than that. Reds fans, where are ya? That's what the message should be. So Kansas City has 2 stadiums that they're running, one in Missouri and one in Kansas. And this is the smaller of the stadiums, and they're going to fill it out. The 5-3-2 for Peru, The 4-4-2 for Canada. David, Kyle Larin, and Davies, who the last one I kept pronouncing it Davis. The influence of watching a Welsh squad is Jonathan Davies turned into Jonathan Davis, and that's on me. And if I do it again, I'll slap my wrists. I'll beat myself up for it, and it just is what it is. God, I'm nervous. Like, this is a game that matters. The game against Argentina, I was like, I expected a 3-0 scoreline. It ended up being 2-0. We played a lot better than I think 2-0 recognized. It probably should have been 2-1, maybe 3-2. But you had to be happy with the results. This one, enough talk. It's time to walk it. And Canada's got to prove that it's got capacity. We're sitting 50th in FIFA. I think we're a top 30 squad. Let's roll. Of course. W&G. Gonko signed. We're still waiting on more. I've been listening to the podcast. I've been following along as much as I can, and I've been working on the back of house stuff for this one as we get everything ready. Jonathan Davies, so much pace. The one criticism I've had for him when he puts on the red jersey is he tries to do too much. And I think the solid players, you look at the goal, Ronaldo gave up a beautiful assist in the most recent game that Portugal had, and he could have had a crack, but he knew that there was a better opportunity. He knew that he could trust his teammates, and I'm not sure if Davies has got quite there. As far as yellow cards, because yellow cards matter, and they matter for the next game with suspensions, which is why we'll watch the Argentinian-Chile match. There's three players for Chile that are on yellow cards and could be suspended if they pick up another one. In this one, you've got, let me slide over, it'll show up on the graphics as well as it scrolls through. You've got Lopez, Marcos Lopez, who's in the starting lineup for Peru, and for Canada, you've got Kone is one of them, and Cornelius being the other, picked up a late one in the last one. I've heard Real Madrid, and it tends to be Real Madrid, whether that's like the Wrexham tax and they're just doing it to end up selling things. I don't, play for Madrid, play for Bayern Munich. I guess Madrid's a better squad, but nominally so. Bayern had a pretty poor season, the curse of Kane following everybody around. Canada stepping up to the ball, go and get my scoreboard ready and get this thing underway. Oh, let's go. Oh, they counted down for me. So 3, 2, 1, and go. We're underway, and so no spoilers if you haven't been here before, and if you're not able to watch the screen, Canada going from left to right on it, and Peru from right to left wearing the whites. And there's Cornelius with his first challenge. This is going to be a physical contest. And the referee already saying, no, I like that. Let him play. And that one he says, yes, as a stop of the foot. We are going to get whistles. If you didn't watch the Peru versus Chile game, it was step on tough tackles, people all over the place. Thanks, Pundit. Josh, the nice thing about that whole display thing is it's all automated now. I have a spreadsheet, I type it all in, and boom, everything loads up. And so other than going and just double checking some formatting, it's working, as this will all get a total overhaul here in short order. Bombito, the Colorado Rapids man of the MLS, gets it up to Alistair Johnston. For those of you who follow Scottish soccer, you'd know him. He's used to hard-fought physical battles because he plays for Celtic. So obviously that derby with the Rangers, well known. As to start off with Peru with early control, and I thought that was weak, and the referee's going stand up. Didn't see anything on that one. We'll see how it goes. The right-hand side, Kyle Larin gets taken down on a tackle and a squat. Peru not liking the call so far, as that's 2 the other way. Lots more hugs after the tackles in this one than there was in the Chile match. It was more straight battle after that one. Yeah, I just got caught up in the legs. I don't think that one was intentional, actually. I'm curious to see how Liam Miller does on this side, the Preston North End man. He's got a future. That's undeniable. I just don't know whether he's got the capacity right now, and whether Scheffelberg's not the better option. Schaffelberg is somebody who I think should have a look for Europe. Kone's got to get a top 5 team. He's sitting at Watford and gone through 4 managers. He needs to find some more consistency for him. But here's Liam. Nice little touch over to David. and not back. Is that going to be the theme? Wherever Miller is, he's just not able to find the interplay with his teammates necessary to move the ball forward. He couldn't do it with Davies. And now you've got Larea over on the left saying, let me connect with Davies, please. But no, Johnston on the right-hand side, and that's a brutal pass. Josh, yes, there is. And the referees let a lot more go. There are stuff that I was like, that's got to be a yellow, but the yellows mean so much here. If you get a second yellow, if you get a second yellow before the quarterfinals, you're suspended. Crepeau on the run, and that's Darnell Cornelius. And it's nice to know. It's nice to know when you have a defender back there that I just have confidence in Cornelius and Bombito to win 99% of the battles that they've got. And it's a comfort that I've never had with the Canadian men's national team ever. And so it's a new experience for me. And it takes brilliance to beat them. And the two that did beat them, if you didn't see the goals that Argentina scored against Canada, the second one was an amazing Messi pass that found an open player on the right-hand side. And I don't know how you beat that pass. It was just quality. And the first one was a bit of a breakaway, and Crepeau made the first save. And unfortunately, it bounced over to the right-hand side and was right there to be potted. So the question for us is offense. We're only 3 minutes in, but nothing there. I'm getting frustrated already because for me, that's what I wanted to see. Is I need to see this guy, number 19, get some ball and find that pushing himself forward because we're taking a hit in the back. Richie Larea, now is he with Toronto right now? He was with Notts Forest and trying to get stuck in there. He's been cast out, I guess you would. Toronto. He's not the same, and he's not as good in the back. That's a cross, dangerous header coming down. Crepeau able to jump on it. Lapadula, I don't know whether he got held up. It may not have been onside. Adula, well, he back onside here. Yeah, he's onside. So not held back. He just went up too soon. Ended up hanging up there. And come on, Miller, do a thing. Miller. Kyle Larin not able to do anything. Well done defensively. Didn't see this from Peru, mostly because they were too busy whacking each other in the shins in the midfield. Larin tries to get it to Miller. Not there. Bombito. Ishmael Kone. Back to Bombito. And we will reset and recycle. Let's go. Empty stands behind the goal. Empty stands everywhere and in the smaller stadium. So apparently Canada not well traveled. The issue is I think there's some disenchantment with the Canadian fans right now. We got all built up. We were the kings of Concacaf. We go to the World Cup. And we don't get a single point. And so I think there was... And then immediately after, there's a massive war that happens between Canada Soccer and its men's and women's teams. And now we're back. So Davies, finally, with his first touch in a threatening spot. What can he do? He's just going to go on. See, it's finding a body. He does too much. Trust your team because now you've put themselves in a dangerous position. Tell me I'm wrong as you watch this one. Davies doesn't do that with Bayern Munich. He trusts his players. He looks for opportunity. He'll drive the line and he'll find them. Here, he's looking to have ball at foot the entire time and score some crazy goals. And he has done it in the past. The goal against Panama during the World Cup qualifying where he saved it and scored single-handedly, basically ran like 70 yards, was nuts. But you can't run against and through teams at this level. Kone gets swept in the back and gets a foul. Let's go. Might as well change the roster, bring up the Canadian ones. I'm looking for our first goal. I don't know. Do you guys? I don't know if you have the Canadian broadcasters or not. So I don't think you do. I think you guys will have the U.S. broadcasters mostly, which will be interesting to get their perspective as we go through this whole chat. Bum, bum, ba. The drama. Forgot all about that. I set that up for this one because I hadn't had it in the last one. It is FS1 in the US. So yeah, and feel free if you hear interesting little tidbits that come out of that one, let me know exactly what those are. I've got the Canadian broadcasters. And the other controversy and the other detriment to Canadian soccer is we gave away our broadcasting right to a complete online service. And that online service is for like 12 freaking years. And yes, it helped build the Canadian Premier League. We now have a second tier in Canada. for our football clubs, but it came at the consequence of fans not having immediate access to these players. TSN ended up subleasing the arrangements to put this on the big picture, and here we go, Peru moving up, knocked out by Alistair, and it'll be a throw-in on the left-hand side. This is far more physical than the Argentina game. This, if you've been a fan of CONCACAF football, this is Honduras, Panama, Costa Rica, that whole Nicaragua, that whole Central American squads. They give up a little bit on the skills side, but they play exceptionally physical and they play a solid team game because they're all together. Peru, by having more than half playing in the same league, they look to be a solid team. That's a dive. Brendan with the flop counter. Ting. But they just don't have the quality. As Ishmael Kone getting... See, and I said before, Jekyll and Hyde, when he is on, he is on. When he is off, he is off. And unless you take out the legs, the ref isn't going to call him these times. Davies, look at your teammates. Look at your... Nice little cross. If it would have got past and not defended there, you had David standing right there. Jonathan David, a poacher. Kyle Laren, a pure striker, even though they're... I guess a 9 and a 10, and that's the role that they play. Interesting. 19th appearance for Maxime Crepeau, and he is someone who was behind our regular goalkeeper Borjan for years. He's 30, and I thought they were going to go with Dane St. Clair or maybe even McGill, but he's been impressive. That's not a foul based on the current stats, but that was a bit of a flop to try and draw it, and they've been letting those go. Two center backs back. Larea's got to come back and support, and he's a little bit slow. I just don't trust this left-hand side. Their right is our weak spot. That's the one part of our back line that I just don't like. Alistair Johnson capable on our right side. Bombito, Cornelius solid in the left, but Crepeau was there to take that one away, and Ishmael Kone, who please be more good than more bad, because when he's good, he's special. But he's had a couple of bad touches first. That one was a shocker to me. Absolutely. The Brazil Costa Rica match. Brazil deserved to score. They just couldn't score. I think they had 80% possession at one point in time. But that's Costa Rica is defensive and they're physical and they just get into it. My video quality looks 720. Because I don't know. It looks okay to me. But I can look at that in the background and figure out what's going on after this one is done. I am admittedly running because of blip, but my OBS is telling me that I'm running fine. Live interactive, FPS is 30 per. The game, I don't think I'd be 4K, but I was hoping to be 1080. And it's nice to see you, Kim. It's been a while. I hope the summer's been going for you and you haven't been dealing with the same garbage that I've been dealing with as far as illness and otherwise, but it's been a thing. Cornelius Eustachio. I question if you do, or if you're new to the channel and if you follow the Canadian club, I'd be interested to hear, do you think Davies should be the captain, or do you think it should be Eustachio? Because for me, I think Eustachio's the better man, although the news reports are certainly that Davies is the guy. I just don't like Davies' style when he plays for the national squad. It's very selfish, and I get it. You're the man. You've been there. It's exactly the word that I've been saying to my lovely, amazing English wife. is that England has looked like garbage. And as I said before, they are getting results. They are getting results. RKO, how are ya? It's a pleasure, and I'm loving that everybody's creeping into this one. Another one while you're here is, if you wouldn't mind at some point in time, going over to @GlobalWatchAlong on YouTube. Maybe I should put that one in the chat, but going over there and hitting the subscribe button, just give that one a little bit of a boost. As I'd like to at some point get the international games all over there, and keep the Red Horde just Wrexham only. And Brendan, the other thing, I don't know if what you're doing in July is a secret or not. Let me know, because I'd be happy to tell everybody exactly what's going on. There we go. Davies with a nice ball into the penalty area and is with space, and it's going to go for a corner. That has to be the corner. Missed the pass and ended up getting a more accidental caught in the feet of the defender, and away it goes out. And so Eustachio is going to step over. That'll be an in-swinger as he's got the right foot. And away we go. Kyle Larin, the magic man. One of those odd players who plays, it's no secret, perfect, I'll let everybody know in a second here. Kyle Larin, one of those players who plays far better when he's wearing the national team jersey than he does when he's wearing the domestic one. But here's the corner. It's a flat, low delivery, just headed away, flicked up over top, and Peru going to be able to clear over down the left-hand side, although pressure there. Really? It was a shove, but they've been letting that go. So here's the not secret. Marie is back. How are ya? Kim, that's the magical question. For those of you who do not know, obviously, Wrexham coming to Vancouver, got the pint going on, got the Welsh Societies going on, bought 2 tickets, sitting right behind the Wrexham bench as you're watching, will just be if from the camera angle to the right. To the left if you're facing, to the right, to the left from the stadium, to the right of the Wrexham bench if you're staring at the Wrexham bench. And we will be right there, front row, and when I say we, I say Brendan and I. Brendan going to be flying in. Staying at the suite that we've got in the building here, and we're gonna soak up a whole bunch of beer and anthem creation and an outfit perhaps, and put on a show. So I am absolutely stoked that Brendan's gonna be here for that one, all the way from Massachusetts in for the weekend, as well as a whole host of other people. I don't even want to get into it, but that pint should be a lot of fun. It sounds like we're going to have at least 150, 200, and it may end up being full. And if we have 500 people in there all singing Wrexham stuff before the game, that would be an absolute freaking dream. And I'm looking forward to it. So come to Vancouver if you get the chance. But yes, while we await for Canada to figure out, can we score? God, it's so depressing to be like, that's the issue with us. We look good, but we never get results. England looks like shit, but they get results. I did, and I read it, and I don't know if that was Birmingham proposed it or just one guy said that Birmingham proposed it. I don't like it. I think Starkey had the best comment about it. He said, we signed up to be a part of the Wrexham journey. It wasn't Wrexham that signed up for us, right? And so, at the same time, it's Birmingham's home game. If they want to give up their home game and they can find a club that wants to do it, I don't know why the league steps in and says that's not fair, unless the team that wants to go over says, no, we'd rather stay home because we don't want the issue with traveling and the problems and all that sort of stuff. But what if the fixtures came out and said game 5,000 is going to be in San Francisco? Okay, Josh would be really happy. But man, would I be freaking angry, right? Oh, it's convenient because the whole team is already over there, so we can play the first game and then get over. It just messes with everything. Pre-game show? Are you talking about at the actual event? Are we going to be streaming? Oh, almost a giveaway right there for Lyron as he just can't get there. Ugh. Kyle Larin, currently the top goal scorer all time for men's soccer. 69. This is his 70th cap today. He's got 29 goals, but being caught by Jonathan David, and there's a foot coming in. Lopez has been all over the place. He has been. That's his third. That one legitimate, but 2 flops. And he's been involved in a number of fouls. I'm hoping, Tobias, that we can set that up. I'm absolutely hoping to set that up. I think it'll probably just be a run because I'm going to want to socialize and get involved. So we will figure all that out. Proposed. Oh, you're talking. They apparently it's reported that Birmingham City asked to play Wrexham over in North America somewhere, and the EFL said no. I'm hoping they said no because Wrexham said no, thank you. But oh yeah, and Brendan's also going to be doing the pre-shows with me, and so we're going to tag team that. Also, probably joining in the halftime, just adding a little bit of added flavor to the whole thing as we're. Oh, and I'm behind on my timer here. Oh no, I'm not. I'm bang on. Now I know what the delay is as I'm watching too many screens and outside of my normal setup. Not a lot of magic as we got a free kick. Lopez is everywhere. Left footer. He's probably going to take that. No, he's going to leave it behind. So it'll be a right footer. I thought that they'd be going more with the swing into the wall and into the mess of people, but they decided to pitch it off the left. Pre-game before the watch party shows. Yes, that's what we're going with. I think I said that. Brendan's going to be helping out with the watch parties, the watch alongs, and stepping up before and at the half and doing all that sort of stuff. Do you think Chelsea? I mean, Lille, he's got the numbers, right? And it's fascinating to me when I watch him in a Lille jersey. He looks exceptional when he wears the Canadian. Unlike Kyle Larin, who plays out of his mind and well above how he's playing with the club, David just hasn't really found the same magic in the Canadian jersey. Kyle Larin up there, nothing on the counterattack and just pushing forward. Venezuela in the semifinals. I'd want to go back to the Copa America because is Venezuela in Group B? Off the top of my head, I don't know why I didn't pick Venezuela as an option out of that group, and that's either because I didn't see them in the same group. I will say, I do not like how you can play the same group in the semifinals. I think that they should have the crossover on the brackets. Late challenge, yellow card, yellow to Richie. Yeah, that's the right call. He went in full force and caught him high in the thigh and leg and had his leg up. That's standard yellow card territory. Doesn't matter if it's in Copa America or otherwise. They are in the same group. So yeah, they're. So you think Canada's going to get second? Venezuela is. See, I don't think they meet in the semis. Because I think Venezuela will take out Mexico and we will meet in the quarters. And I think it's going to be harder for us to do the work. Let's be honest. I don't think Ecuador and Jamaica have the ponies to compete there. And so yes, I can see it in the quarterfinals. And then the question is, I think that if we play Mexico, away from Mexico, Mexico's not the same. They are absolute beasts at home, and they are powder puffs away from home. And so I think if they are a second place squad, I think Canada has the capacity to take them out. And so if we finish second and Mexico somehow finishes first against Venezuela, then I will be cheering for Venezuela against Argentina so that we can get you guys in the semifinal. Yeah, it was a dumb yellow. And the reality is I think this game is too fast for Richie. And we don't have anybody to fill in on that back line. Yeah, you got to give that one. Kamal Miller's going to be too slow. I don't think you can go with the youth that we've got there. We've got a Fulham man. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name because I haven't actually heard it pronounced. Defugorol plays for Fulham, and I haven't seen him, but early reports are solid on the young 18-year-old. He could come in, but other than that, who's coming in on that side? Waterman, he's only got 3 caps. Ahmed plays for Vancouver. He's only got 4 caps, and I don't think he's the right answer. And Sam Payet's just too slow. So we've got issues on our back line other than our 2 center backs, and that's just how it's gonna be. yes, they propose. Apparently, the report is that Birmingham owners have asked the EFL if they could play Wrexham for their home game in North America. And they didn't specifically say the US, but let's be honest, if it was going to happen with an American owner there, Tom Brady being a part of that conglomerate in Birmingham, that's where it would have been. And they said, and the EFL said no. And we don't know what our owner said about it, but the EFL said no. But Santiago, awesome having you in here. Thank you for joining and soaking in a little bit of Copa America. It's nice to see now the flavor because we've got everybody from all over the place. Richie with at least a solid play there. 22 minutes. It was, and it should have been. I mean, other than putting two fingers in the air, what else? How they couldn't be more blunt. Kone just getting beat, and now he's got the hands out in desperation. Rare, he's been so solid all the way through, and this one, Kone just not able to defend, and instead it's David coming all the way back as we can go on the counter. Eustachio on his left trying to catch caught up. Bad pass, couldn't get it to Millar, and we turn around the other way. Bugger me. I thought this was going to be a game where Canada could shine, and I'm not enjoying this at the moment. Just not enjoying it at the moment. Stats, 59% possession for us, so maybe I'm being a little bit hard on ourselves, on our team. See, 31st, I think that's where our team fits in the rankings, and to climb up there, we got to start knocking these teams off. The XG is so low. 0.03 Peru, and nothing for Canada despite 59% possession. We look like the inverse Notts County. Lots of possession and nothing going forward. Confident in the back line other than the left side, but nothing going forward. Throw in left-hand side. Peru, Liam Miller able to get that and can't nick it. And Peru continuing to look forward. Kyle Larin pushing forward. The high press not really in play as it wasn't so visible against the Argentina match. We decided to go after them. And to be fair, against Holland and France, we did the same. This one, there's a lot more layback, and I don't know if that's a strategy thing. I don't know if that's the searing heat in Kansas. Polo gets it into the box on a nice little interplay, but well defended by Eustachio, who comes back. Gonna be a corner, but he's the best player we got. I'm sorry, Jonathan Davies. Love you, and you're all talent, but Eustachio is just next level, man. The Porto man does his thing. Try not to yell too much. Did you join after I ended up saying that I think we could beat Mexico? I didn't think that Mexico looked too solid in their first match either, to be fair. Really, other than Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, Uruguay. Those four teams put them maybe up a little bit higher. Everybody else has questions coming out of the first round of matches. And those questions persist to 25 minutes. Peru not able to do anything. Canada not able to do anything. This game is screaming 0-0 all the way through. I hope that's not the case. I want us to score. I want us to get 3 points so we can go into the Chile match and just require a draw to advance. Please. Please. And I'm assuming Argentina is going to win both. And maybe we aren't pressing because in the heat and knowing we're not deep. Like, when you look at who's going to be coming in to replace players, yes, you've got Tajon Buchanan, you've got Schaffelberg, you've got Russell Rowe who can come up front. As forwards, who are we looking to bring in for forwards? Osorio? Not really. Theo Bair, Russell Rowe? I just don't like it. And our back line is thin. Those are our four. The drop-off after Larea is massive. So maybe you've got to rest the guys and make sure that you're not pressing and just hang into it with a counterpunch. Yeah, the U.S. did look good but couldn't finish either. As Peru comes forward. Oh, wide open on the left-hand side, and Crepeau! Whew. This guy wants to go to Europe. He wants... I haven't looked at when his contract expires with the Portland Timbers and whether he's a January window target, but he's been nothing but quality in 2 games so far. The stops that he had against that Lionel Messi, well, whoever that guy is, were impressive. Alex, how are you? It's nice. It's nice to see the familiar names coming in. Like button while you're there, guys. Have at it. Only one person over on the global watch along. Everybody familiar with the joining at home with the Red Horde, and maybe that's a message. Yeah, I didn't watch, to be fair, the entirety of the second half. I watched the first half, and then I kind of just had it playing in the background, and so a cooling break. 28th minute as everybody goes over, and we'll be needing these spells. The Peru fans are all over the place. Peru, but nothing from... So between the two of us then, RKO, we've got a pretty decent snapshot. I'll tell you, the first goal, they came out like gangbusters, and I thought, oh, they're going to run Bolivia into the absolute ground. It didn't really happen. And while we got the break, maybe I'll go back and swap over the Peru players and have them tick over. Oh, wrong one. Was a solid save. That they've got a quality keeper in the background. It's going to be a corner coming from the right to the keeper. I don't know if it's a right-footed or left-footed player. In swinger or out. Oh, they put both over there. Could be short. So they decided to go with the left-footed out swinger. No, they're coming back the other way. Richie Larea. God, he's been with the program forever, and it's just sort of a band-aid solution everywhere, has Richie. Played it short. The Notts County special. In overtime, cleared out, but not too far. Still in a dangerous 20 yards out. Off of feet. Looking for offside, not given, so it's out, and there's Liam Miller over on the left side. He got twisted. He's on the wrong side of the pitch, but we'll take it. As he goes over, and Davies, who I haven't said his name enough. Stepped on David. Go the other way. Richie Larea, 51st cap today, 29 years of age, and one of the elder statesmen, actually, when you go through, for reference, 652 caps for the Canadian squad, 1,127 for the Peruvian team. So just almost double. As we have a younger squad, and Miller trying to find his way through, 3 guys to deal with, and Kyle Laren staring at him. As it's forward, Kyle Laren up to Larea. Larea looking over to Davies on the left-hand side, gets it behind him, so Davies has to pause, can't get the engine fired up, and now look to somebody. Thank you, Eustachio. Liam, get that cross in. Instead, he flips it forward to Eustachio, draws it back, it's right there! We're going to go for a corner. That came off Kyle? They did say they got the final touch. Didn't look like that from the angle, but hey, nobody's complaining about it. I must be wrong. It happens every once in a while. Tried to drag it over. No luck. Another reminder: there is the Argentina-Chile game that you can pick up. Go Argentina for all of those matches. By the way, you need them to keep everybody else from getting points in the group. But also 1 o'clock local, 9 a.m. over in England and Wales, and 4 o'clock in the morning in the East Coast. The schedule comes out, so we'll be online tonight chatting about that and going over things. So you get to see my ugly mutt twice today. How special is that? Bombito. The heat must be like everybody's in slow motion. Wait, how does that foul get given? Lopez again does the flop, runs into a man with the ball. Johnson's like, what the hell did I do? I had my back facing the ball. I blocked the man from taking the ball and he runs into me. On the flyer possibility, Ayo Akinola. I still think he's an option. I'm going to be honest. This is where the soccer gods screw you. It's a foul that I don't think should have happened. In swinger right there. Flag up. I don't know. You got to watch this. I didn't think live that it was offside. Oh, yeah, it's way off. Okay. Not even close. Not even close. My instincts are a little bit off. It's been a while. I just anticipated that I was going to find the back of the net because that's what the football gods tend to do is bad foul end up leading to a goal. Always a novel thought, Kim. Shots on goal, kind of one of those things that you want to have happen. Yeah, got to bang the rust out before the season starts. And we're good. Keep it going. 34 minutes. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. Here's the other big question. 2026 World Cup. We're only 2 years away from it. Qualifying's going on. Assume your team gets into it. Where would you like them to be based? Over on the west side, California, Vancouver. You want him somewhere in the central. Ooh, he's on side. Moving forward, Alistair and Bombito a little slow. Clips in the heels. That was part diving, a little weak given the other calls that are out there. But I thought if that was against Lopez, it's well deserved. Lopez, the Jody Jones of the proving squad, is Eustachio with a giveaway with three guys in the middle of the area. This is not okay. Little flick, tried to get it. Lapadula, not able to. Just body is just ugly. And then Larea ends up taking a shot and an extra kick. I don't have a problem with no card on the play, but he got frustrated there on the whistle being called, and I think he gave him an extra shot. No Euro rule to allow only the captain to chat. Watch this. Did I miss this? So he gets upset that he goes down, a little frustrated. And this isn't a yellow, and I'm fine with all of this. But am I rusty, or did he give him an extra shot here? Right? It wasn't that bad. It's just a gentle little nudge on the back. Larea milking it, made contact, but it wasn't as grotesque as I wouldn't be a good referee. That's what I've just found. I need the replays to find out how bad it is. I guess the rule always is, unless it's clear, you don't give. Crepeau gets us underway. Had the feature on TSN in Canada before Eustachio and his match. We've got some interesting stories with players who, like Ayakinola, who born in the U.S., signed up for the Canadian national team, basically homeless for a period of time with his brother and a single mom as immigrants into the country, who found his way, and here they come again. Peru, Bombito over there to try to seal things off. Davies ended up coming back, and it gets spilled and cleared, and Kone do a thing. Kone just not on Kone. What are you doing? That was as ugly as it gets. And you look at him, what you saw against France was a masterclass midfielder performance. Like, it was one of the best performances I've ever seen internationally, and surely from anybody in a Canadian jersey. And then you see that where he stumbled, bumbled, and tripped himself. Ugh. Maybe it's the pressure that this is one of those ones that we haven't been playing teams in the... Nothing given on that one. Interesting. I thought that was into the feet, but... we haven't been playing teams in that 20th to 40th band very frequently. And those are the ones that we think, the Canadian team thinks that they should be taking out, and we haven't. Right, Marie? I wasn't making it up. We played quite well in that last one. Canada using its flop game. God. Are they nervous because I'm nervous? Like, is that how this is working and equating? We just can't figure it out. I haven't checked the stats in a while. Let me do that while we're waiting for Crepeau to get us underway. Is to the 51-49, so we're back to equal. Expected goals, 0.38, surprisingly lower than I would have expected. Canada up to 0.19, when really the shots, by the way, I haven't updated those. 4-1 for Peru. Davies, opportunity, but trying to do it all himself. Like, if you are a defender taking on Davies in a Canadian team jersey, you're just saying, whenever he has the ball, run 3 guys at him, because he's not looking to find an open man. And then we give it away. Kone. That's four mistakes by Kone. And this, go on to Twitter and see what people were talking about. And Watford was even talking about, like, Watford fans saying they were looking for a $30 million fee to sign him. But based on his performance with France, that's a headbutt. That's a headbutt. VAR that's a headbutt. Not significant, but he collided. There's contact. That's a headbutt. That's a red. You're gone. He's got to go. Whistle's there. Delay. Look for a sub. Eustachio's not wearing the armband, so that's interesting. They just pulled him out. They've got to be. I'm dumbfounded. Red card check. There it is. He knows. He knows. He knows. And Lopez, who, let's be honest, he stirred the drink as far talent-wise. He's pulled full Jody Jones, but without the composure. No red. Am I on something? What the hell's going on here? So now, Alistair, you got to flop out a little more next time. Crepeau taking as much time as he can to try and get it underway. They've made their decision, and I guess that's that. Farfanugan. I'm curious what they said on FS1, if you guys wouldn't mind typing in here. In ours, they're saying it's an incredible, stupid decision. Unbelievable. Anywhere in the league, that's a red card. Not in this one. Is it because it's cold? Like, not even a yellow. Not even a yellow. Well, that's just it. Is it the outcome that you want? I mean, we're trying to protect from head injuries, and that's a headbutt. And did you say that Alistair Johnston went forward and tried to connect it as well, and so it was mutual? And so what are you going to do? No, I saw that as one way. Tell me that I'm wrong. Peru getting a bonus. Where's the referee from? Mario Alberto Escobar Toca. I'm trying to look this up here. If my computer will do its thing, I'm gobsmacked. Miller with a bad foul there. Guatemala. Well, let's be fair. Concacaf Central America, the physical play, he's not giving out cards. That whole Central American style is quite violent. So he's like, that's just football. Lopez looking to take it. Pena, he's teammates with Cornelius over at Malmo, by the way. That's a dangerous one. Oh, I thought if that hung out there more, I thought that was a dangerous ball to the far post, but just a little bit overcooked. But yeah, Marcos Lopez, the defender, plays for Malmo. Here's the headbutt again that they're showing us, and yeah, he's just talking to him, and then he got headbutted in the head. Unbelievable decision. That's an obvious red card. Like, that's what I'm hearing. And the referee just goes over to Lopez and says, "Hey, sir, can you not headbutt people in the head? That'd be swell." I mean, stupid decision, but that's what the decision should have been. And when I say foolish decision by Lopez to stick it out there. The Guatemalan referee says, "No thanks." Yeah. Grabbed over. He would have been straight dummied to the back of the head. That was a bad play of the ball. And here comes Lapadula over. Flicks it over to the right-hand side. Cornelius Darnell goes back and collects it. And Larea moves over and not able to get it. Lapadula over top of the net and out. Could have been offside again. Lapadula's been struggling with that, to be fair. Any of the threats that they've had have come back. And maybe that's why the XG is so low. Is because the opportunities that they've had that have been threatening have all come back. Variable, awful reviews. Marie coming up with the Kimisms. They said it was negligible. Interesting. I mean... It wasn't violent, but at the same time, a headbutt's a headbutt. Another free kick, Cornelius, and it's going to be 4 minutes of added time. A pretty uneventful half, other than the mistaken call and a couple of offsides. One of them relatively obvious and took away a goal. Canada, though, like to Kim's point earlier on, would like to get a shot on goal. Not able to do that. Shots are sitting at 4-1 still. Passes are equal. Fouls committed are near equal, 8-6. They've had 2 shots on target. We've had, out of their 4, we've had 1 shot total. But we've missed, they qualified one of those as a big chance. I don't know if that's the Kyle Laren chance. Did I miss something else that constitutes a big chance? Yeah, international football, and especially in the Americas. Lapadula missing every opportunity he gets. He's been sniffing around, though. Maxime had that one covered anyway. He right over to the post. Arm is down, unless it ends up hitting it and deflecting over. And to be fair, I don't know if that would have got by... is that Laren standing in the way? Kyle Laren, yep, big number 9. I need... Somebody can call out for Alphonso Davies, do a safety check, make sure he's okay. Got out of the hotel all right. Be nice if he showed up. In Canadian media, I'll be different than Canadian media. He's the most talented footballer we've ever had in Canada, let's be honest. And out of Canada, but he just hasn't looked good for 2.5 years with the Canadian jersey on. And I think he's getting in his own head, and he's forgetting he's got 10 other people. Well out. Jesse Marsh gets it. Going to be re-quicked, and Kone flicked on. Framed up, run through. The Guatemalan official not giving those calls and won't all the way through. So there's no point framing up and trying to defend. Kone leaves it, gets swept. I don't think he would have been able to make the spin and play on the ball, but I do think he got swept there. I think he let it go and had too much pace to do anything. Like, even touching this and letting it roll over, I don't know what he was going to do from that point in time in any event, but it was a foul. Jesse Marsh, the American, Leeds United, no press because of the heat and maybe to preserve everybody. Eustachio, please, right-footed, get it into the group. But Davies likes to try and pound these so that he can get the highlight. Eustachio's got to be more assertive. Referee went down. Uh-oh. Referee just collapsed over on the end. Maxime Crepeau running over. We've got emergency stuff happening here. I don't know if they showed that feed. I don't think it's the main official. I think it's the linesman running in the heat over on the far side. Just went down. Maxime Crepeau, they showed just briefly for a 2-second little blip. Yeah, that's the lino. Just completely collapsed. And I don't know who identified it. You heard the whistle, and Crepeau obviously saw it because the incident happened at the midfield stripe, and Maxime made it all the way up from his goal position and was the person that was right up next to them when they flashed it onto the screen. Not good. So Kim saw that. It was the assistant referee running. That's the side that's in the sun full time. There's no shade on that side. God, that's not good. You just hope it's dehydration and not led to something else that was a consequence of the dehydration. Get the substitute referee and official back in. Yeah, he's not in it. Get the guy off of his feet and get the stretcher over and get some liquids into him. Why are we propping him up in the heat? Just going through the stats, if you're not following along on the FOTMob, but 0.45, and it was the Kyle Larin one that they say was the only big chance that happened in the half. I didn't think that chance was that big. I mean, it was to the right side of the goal. He tried to get a right heel flick on it, and it went straight out. Maybe they think shots in that territory are more likely to go in, but they've qualified that as a big chance, and that's really the only opportunity that we've had for Peru. They've had a total of 5 shots, and 2 of them made it onto target. Lapadula with the most of them. Will it tell me who had each of these shots if I scroll over top of them? Lapadula left foot, Lapadula right foot, Flores, Lapadula left foot, and Quispe. It's been Lapadula that's been stirring the drink. That's when we play football in North America, though. I mean, if substitute assistant referee, 50-50 ball possession, They've owned on the shots and the shots on target. Apparently, we had the big chance. Passing 133 to 128, 79, 76%. Fouls committed 9-7 for them, 7 for us. Corners 2 them, 1 us. It's been an even match, and it hasn't been pretty. I expected more out of us. Maybe I didn't give Peru enough credit. As I said, this is a team that's winless in their qualifying, struggling through things right now. They don't win, but they don't necessarily lose all of them either. They've had their fair share of draws, and this is sort of what they've been doing, is just eking out points. We've got to get 3 points somewhere. I mean, you're going to end up with a three-way tie for first, or sorry, a three-way tie for second. Everybody on 2 points. And so then it becomes, how bad does Argentina beat you? Which then the inequity of goal differential in a 4-team group shows its face, because is Argentina going to play its full squad if they've already qualified and they're clear in the last game? No, they're going to put out a lesser squad, and so they get Peru, and so what if they only they half-ass it out there because they just want to get to the quarterfinals in reserve? Peru haven't lost in 2024, but they haven't won. It's been all draws. That's what this is sort of scripted for them. They're good in the back line, and they don't allow many chances. And we're gonna redo. And Davies took that one. Please defer, just once. Eustachio has the skill and the talent. He needs to step up and say, "This is my ball. I'm the midfielder. I can place this. I take the corners," but no, it's Davies instead. Why? Why? Somebody tell me why the guy who's set to do your set pieces from the corner is not the one who's doing the free kicks from 30 yards out. Let him swing it into the mob. Unless it's because you want the left foot so that it swings towards the goal to allow for a header to get that, rather than a right footer that's got to come back. But I'm curious to go to Twitter, and I'm going to do that now. I don't normally do this, to find out what Twitter says about Lopez and the red. We'll see. We're well over the 4 minutes here, obviously because of the delay with the referee. TSN, how did he not get a red card? That was an insane decision. What a terrible call. That's an absolute red for Lopez. He's a clown. The fact that VAR didn't give one is embarrassing. Lopez is lucky. Officiating, ridiculous. How is that not a red? The Copa America is shit. How is that not a red? So pretty consistent. Canada being absolutely outplayed by Peru. I wouldn't say that outplayed. It's that we haven't. Our final third has just been atrocious. And I think that's the issue. And unfortunately, it's been a curse. It's been sitting with us for longer than I'd like to admit. And I was hoping that this was going to be, when we play, the team's 40th ranking and below, we outclass them so significantly that it's like, how can we be around? And no offense to Costa Rica, no offense to Panama, no offense to Trinidad and Jamaica, and even though Jamaica beat us 3-2 in Kingston to end up qualifying, we look so much better than they do, and we just don't get the results. Yeah, Kim, that was painful. That was painful, and not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. So I'm going to hit the stop button on this one and clue this up. I don't even know what to say. A couple of reminders for you. And maybe another thing, if I haven't told you guys before. I'm going to have a sponsor for the Red Horde so that no advertisements are going to be necessary during the watch parties, which is a nice little touch. So excited to tell and release who that's all about in due time and on the day, and that's exciting. So those of you who are annoyed with the advertising pops up, don't have to worry about it. That's some cash in the pocket, so I'll be able to get the graphics card. I'll be able to do some of the things that I want to do. So that's exciting. We're on for the and how many people do I have? I've got, how many people are on the Most of you sitting there watching on the Red Horde. So while you're here, if you have any want to talk Wrexham over the half, we can do that too, because this game's been so garbage. Murder. I don't. Marsh, I think, is more complimentary than he is critical. That's just sort of the character that I see of him. And so I think he's going to be talking about how we're in it and we're dealing with the heat and you guys can find the way. What makes me nervous is even though I thought we had a better top end to Peru as far as our players, but worse depth. I think they've got some substitutes that come in that will give them the same quality. And so if that's accurate and that's the case, I'm nervous that if we don't score in the first 15, 20 minutes going into the second half, I don't know if we'll find one. Because you go through where we get our goals from, it's Laren and it's David. You look at our other forwards, I was like, those numbers don't add up, and that's because I was looking at Peru. You got Oluwase's got one in his, or sorry, no goals, and he's only had, it would be a second cap if he comes in. Tajon Buchanan, maybe he's got 4 goals and 39 caps, so not there. Jacob Schaffelberg, maybe to be fair, the only person, he's got 2 goals in 11, but he's looked good. He comes in and he puts in work. See, Maria, and I'll be honest, when I followed the iFollow stuff, I wasn't certain what it was going to be either. And they said internationally, but then I was like, but if Sky Sports is covering it and you bought the rights from Sky Sport, then I think it's going to be, if televised, it will be on Sportsnet Plus, ESPN Plus, those plans. And if it's not covered on Sky Sports and televised, then it's going to be on iFollow. So unfortunately, I think that means 2 subscriptions, but also 2 subscriptions that if you're a Wrexham fan, to pick up cup games and stuff you're going to have anyway. So I guess I should have clicked on the chat so that would have come in and you guys would have known. So we'll see what ends up happening with the TV coverage. I do still have to buy my iFollow and get that through. Yeah, and it's still got to be something there. They're all we're talking about is the Lopez thing on the and Atiba Hutchinson, former captain of the Canadian team, had his World Cup appearance, and so he's in the middle of the panel here. How is it possible that VAR doesn't make the referee look at that, and neither of them can think of a circumstance where they don't make them go over and have a look? I'm just listening, soaking this up and trying to watch it. You know, when you talk about the headbutt and whether there's enough force into it in the slow motion, like the skin around his jaw moves from the force. Yeah, it is what it is. Got to overcome it. Let's be honest. 11v11. I still wanted more out of it, and we're just not getting it. Oh, they're sending up the controversy in the broadcast. It's a Venezuelan VAR crew, preferential treatment to the South American squads. Saw it in the Argentinian match that there were benefits for the world champions, but that you expect that they're going to get that in the circumstances, and they're questioning the integrity of the game. Fascinating. Fascinating. Anyway, that's going to be the story out of this one, unless Canada's able to pot one here. and watch them come out and say we're going to give them a 1-match suspension anyways for the red card after this is all said and done, and we missed it and we're sorry and Canada gets nothing out of it. And that would be the most hilarious result. I say that sarcastically out of this. The other thing you guys can send the chat out, W&G raised it earlier in the program as far as who people are looking for as potential and who they want for their potential matches. We know that the first game out is going to be Wrexham's 5,000th game. So that's a big deal. But are you planning to make a trip over? Are you basing that on where there could be away days? Do you have a decision on who you want first over the holidays? When do we get sort of who are our rivals? Shrewsbury obviously is the clear one, but after that is Stockport a rivalry? I continue to say no, but I'm excited to see the games against them. I'm not looking forward to the Crawley Town game. Maybe I want to do the away day just because I don't want to get nausea from the vertigo of their horrible camera angles. Kim looking to make that money. Wants a job as a VAR official, just flip a coin. I mean, at least don't have to get it right, Kim. You just get a remote control in your hand and you get to sit somewhere and watch some football. It sounds like a pretty good deal. So we'll see. And I'm interested, other than Lapadula, who do they end up having on the bench that could come forward for, scoring goals and giving us some magic off the back. Lapadula plays in Serie A for Cagliari. This is only 35th cap. He's only got 9 goals. But you look at the other forwards. Guerrero's out there. He's their leading scorer with 39 out of 120 caps. But they still have available elder statesman Andre Carrillo, who's got 11 goals and 99. And then they've got... I guess he's on the pitch already. So not a lot of, maybe I take it back, not a lot of support as far as goal scoring from the Peru forward. So this is just screaming 0-0. Variable arbitrary rules. So Argentina hoping they beat Chile 3-0. Because that would influence things. If this one ends in a draw, then you've got Peru having to beat Chile or beat Argentina to get in their final game, and then you've got Canada having to get a goal, either win if they can't make it up on goal differential. Oh God, I hate somebody from England. Let's talk about the tie-breaking formula. I have accepted the argument that has been raised that over the course of a 46-game schedule, because there's the team changes from September to January with the windows, because of strength of form over the course of the season, that goal differential is the most equitable way of determining a tiebreaker formula. It's not what North America uses, but I can get that. You want a full snapshot of the best team over the season. Goal differential is a better metric than who beat who on the day. But in a 4-game tiebreaker, I think that the first tiebreaker should be, what was the outcome in the game in which you played? I don't think it matters in this instance because everybody's going to probably end up drawing and everyone's going to end up with 2 points. And one team's going to go on and 2 points are not, and it's going to depend on how bad Argentina beat you. So a 2-0 game, that's not bad. But we'll see how they do against Chile, and then the Argentinian B squad against Peru. So does Peru going to get in because they just happen to play Argentina last? That just doesn't seem fair to me. We will see. So if somebody has an opinion on that one, by all means, hit me with it and tell me what you think about it. I'm excited to see the schedule come out tonight, and hopefully the graphics that I'm still putting together end up working. And for that sort of stuff, I've been working on the research for the Who Are You series. I'm planning to do the Who Are You series, recording it directly from OBS, similar to how I do this, and just clicking what I need for the graphics to pop up. It's not going to be optimal. It's not going to have the editing. It's going to have those uhs that I tend to delete and edit as much as I can. But I'm going to attempt to do it as one-take options, doing them live, have the discussion. Maybe you guys can join. The question for me also, what's a good time? Because the easiest time for me to do them is in the evening. The problem being it's too early for those of you in England and Wales, and it's too late for those of you in the East Coast. So it might be smaller groups, but at least I guess everybody can load them up if I do them far enough in advance and follow along and watch. And if you happen to be dealing with some insomnia, you can come and join me as we go through and figure it all out. Halftime. I'm just disappointed. And I'm disappointed because the quality's not there. It's a different sensation than with Wrexham, because you, even when there's been a bad half, you still expect at that level Wrexham has the capacity to turn it on, figure it out, and do something. The Canadian squad just hasn't figured out what the bleep to do up front. And the press maybe not there because of the heat, so that takes away part of what Canada's tactics are. The lack of depth hurting us, because we can't run our guys into the ground and just bring out lots of subs. So what do? Part of the problem, I will say, I don't think Liam Miller is the guy. I think it's Schaffelberg. But we'll see that in the second half, and you guys can tell me if you agree when he replaces Miller on the right side. And so the question is, is it Jonathan Davies trying to do too much, and not trusting the team and being willing to and capable of sharing things a little bit? Speaking of the heat, I need some liquid. Yeah, that's the other scary thing that the broadcasters just identified. If Peru is able to score here, or Canada scores, if somebody loses this match, they're eliminated. Eliminated, because that would be 4 points. They'd have to beat Argentina, and even with Argentina, they'd be on 4. I guess there's a way to get in on goal differential, but essentially you're out. So the game changers, they're talking Buchanan, they're talking Schaffelberg, and that's who it's got to be. So the strategy that the broadcasters have is moving Davies back into the left back position. When you sub Buchanan back in, I don't know whether that's the solution. I want Davies up. I still think he has the talent and the skill. I just want him to not try to be a hero all the time. I want him to have enough trust and capacity to distribute the ball, to look for the open people. Let's be honest. What's his role when he plays for Bayern Munich? It's to beat guys one-on-one on the wings and get across into the box. And most of the time when he finds goals, it's because he's beaten somebody with his pace towards the goal line and drawn it back into the striker's foot. And he had that opportunity in the Argentina game. He gave a brilliant ball to Kyle Larin, one that Kyle should have scored on that instance. He had nobody around him. Open shot, sitting 10 yards out, and he missed it. That's not happening here. He's trying to beat 3, 4, 5 guys. And maybe that's a credit to the Peruvian defenders that aren't giving it to him, is, whoa, we've gone with a mass overhaul. Jonathan Osorio coming in, Schaffelberg coming in, and unfortunately, Miller coming in on our back line. So that probably means either Cornelius or Bombito is going to get the break. I'd suggest it's probably Cornelius because he's got the yellow card, so you preserve him for the other game. But I don't necessarily like that as Kamal Miller draws into his 28th cap. For Schaffelberg, that's going to be his 25th cap. Halftime substitutions, they've gone with 3 changes. Romero, Santamaria, and Lapadula. Wait, Lapadula. Do they have 2 Lapadulas? Oh, I was going to say those graphics don't make any sense. I think they pulled the Peruvian numbers on the graphic for who was coming out, so we're going to have to follow along. They had the Canadian subs going in, and then their opposite numbers on the Peruvian team coming out as subs. That's why I was all confused as to it didn't make any sense. Still with us, 45. Whoa, I've started this one late. Let's get that clock going as we're up to the 12th second, and there's a foul there, and we're going to get a free kick early on for Canada. Richie Larea still in, which would have been surprising. I didn't look at the. Hold on a second. I've got to have a look at that. Is win probabilities: Peru unlikely. Canada, are you kidding? Okay, it's a joke, and I didn't get that. Kim with the humor, and it's gonna be. What are the odds of a 0-0 game? 99.8%. Grab the 8 ball, flip it over, and it pops up near certain. So that's an interesting decision. So both Canadian players who had yellow cards from the first game are off. And so that's Cornelius and that's Kone. Davies still up on the left-hand side as it's pushed forward, and Osorio gives the opportunity. It's lobbed into the box, and that's Schaffelberg overplaying on the left-hand side. Now Schaffelberg on the left with Davies. That's a new combination, as normally Schaffelberg's been coming in and playing over on the right-hand side. So a little bit of a change up there. We'll see how the speed, the pace, and the bulldog mentality. Schaffelberg, if you've never seen him before, plays for Nashville. He is all the work rate and all the effort of Paul Mullen without the boot and the final touch. He, even with, I mean, other than give Paul Mullen a mullet and permit, and that's how the Kentville, Nova Scotia man looks and performs to me. He'll find bodies. He'll score if it's obvious, but he's not going to find something for you. As Lapadula says, Osorio, no, you go back further. Osorio says, no, I'm going to play the politics with you. Let's just get the game going. And so my man Cornelius off, the Malmo man, he may end up. I mean, the other thing is as far as performance goes, is some of these players that were looking for opportunities in Europe, and after the France and Netherlands game, you could have made an argument that it had to be obvious and apparent that Cornelius Bombito are going to get eyes on Kone after the France game, and they've looked like garbage in this one. It just sucks with all the beautiful football that's been going on that Canada's not demonstrating that it's got the ponies to do it. Way too many mullets from that part of Nova Scotia. Way too many mullets in Nova Scotia, period. And I shouldn't say that. As a man who in 1993 rocked a permed mullet, and I permed my ginger hair, I was far more red then than I am now. Yeah, I'm a little partial to the permed mullet. Not a look I ever want to bring back. Got a lot of love for Nova Scotia. I was over there, obviously, for that trip to Halifax last year. Surprising how much I enjoyed that. Come on, lads, let's do a thing. Like, grab the stick, poke it, and let's figure out how to do this. Is Kamal Miller with the tackle there, and they let that go, and I thought that he got ball through and didn't take out the leg, and here we go, Jonathan Davies with the pace in the open field. They collapse on him, and it's a bad pass. And Davies rolls his eyes, and Jesse trying to get him involved, but well, the Style King, yes, clearly who I am. I have been fashion savvy since the day I was born. Bowl cuts, surfer haircut. I went overseas to New Zealand and lived there for a year. I came back with shaved all the way through with just ginger locks flowing over, parted in the middle. Whew. There are some brilliant fashion decisions that I've made in my life. Kyle Lauren flips it forward, leaving it there. Larea moving up from the left backside. Why is he way over on the right hand side? Must have been moving forward. The Band-Aid, he plays everywhere. But now I'm wondering who stepped back on the left end of the left back spot. Because we've got a throw in 20 yards out. Don't think Alistair Johnston's got the Tozer bomb to lob that all the way through and into the middle of the box. But they're lining up as though he does. And he does. Flat, not quite there, but flicked up, and Schaffelberg forces it forward. It's bouncing around, headed, and Schaffelberg, the pit bull, there he is. That's what he does. He just goes and flicks around and just stirs stuff. And so I'm okay with him. And him playing in the shade, maybe he'll be able to continue to do it. As here they come, Peru on the counter attack. He flopped before he even touched the ball on that one. Impressive. I'm assuming that's Lopez again. That one's a foul. Osorio got him in there and pulled his legs out from under him. That is clear as day. Reached in, dragged him down by the ankles. Who's playing? Oh, they did move Davies back. So Schaffelberg's taken Davies' spot as left mid, and Davies has fallen back into left back. When you need a goal, not the option that I was looking for, but I would have rather seen Tajon Buchanan come in and take a spot somewhere. Or Larea stay there. Callan saying no fault. I don't think it's a yellow. I think David made a meal out of that, flopping, but the graphic doesn't update, Brendan, when you say able to show which players have yellows, but with the new features that we're working on, they will be showing which yellow cards were given over the course of the match. I don't believe that those graphics are going to have the name, but it'll have how many yellow cards and how many red cards have been provided. It is a boring game, Santiago. I am sorry, and I'm missing Wrexham too, to be fair. I expected so much more out of this one. I was expecting so much more out of this game. Jonathan David gets it up to Richard Larea, left-hand side, 18 yards. Come on now. Do a thing. Get me excited. Get everybody. Let's come up with something. Eustachio, bad touch. Saves it back again. Alistair Johnson gets it over to Osorio. Cross into the box. Kyle Aaron can't get there. Hey, a little bit of something flipping into the box. Isn't that the truth? And Kim, how shocking is it? Like, all of the talent and skill, and you look at those Premier League players. If I'm England, I'm looking at their governance decisions and finding out how significant the impact is. And one of the bigger things that I'm looking at is the consequences of their Brexit and closing off the borders to immigrants, their visa point system being as difficult to get points. So they're bringing in less important quality. They're giving more top level competition and championship competition to English players. But is it hurting the quality of the league such that those top level players that would be international aren't getting the experiences that, say, Syria, Italy, the Bundesliga in Germany, League One in France, where there's more international players that are going over there to keep things sharp. Because I would like to see the statistics, but I think that there's some government issues that's Schaffelberg's got to be offside there. Yeah, it does now. I think when they say yards offside, I think that he was like 5 or 6 yards offside, because you just saw where he was. Hits the shoulder, and there's Davies back. Tries to get it to Eustachio, can't. Maybe that's offside. Doesn't matter. Crepeau able to make it, and a good little defensive play there by Bombito doing what Bombito does. Our center backs are fine. Okay, not Kamal Miller, but our starters are fine. Schaffelberg down. Eustachio didn't like that at all. And now we're getting a yellow for dissent. That's a late yellow card. That's fascinating because that looked like it was from the complaints. A little bit extras, but that's because they're standing over top of the injured man. Oh, they're not over the injured man. Fire in the belly. Let's go. They were getting relatively close to the injured man, and they just wanted to step up and say no, walk away, and deal with it. Want to look at the tackle because I thought that Schaffelberg was clear through. Oof. Boots. I mean, got the boot up, but it was in the swing. He made contact with the ball. Yellow, obviously. Do you call that an orange one? Maybe. If this was a domestic club competition game and we were playing in League One or League Two, I'd be saying that's got to be, I'd be considering a red on that one. But in these international competitions where the yellows hold so much weight, and you take a red card, oh, right through onto the side of the ankle. Excessive force? I don't know. Is it excessive force? In an international game. The headbutt was a red. That's clear. This one, in an international game where the yellow cards are so punitive, he's swinging for the ball. A broadcaster saying it should be red, a Canadian broadcaster. But he's swinging for the ball, and on the follow through, he gets the boot up, and it ends up making contact. Who's this guy wearing the green who's freaking out and screaming? The question is excessive force, and Marie's got it. The question is excessive force, but he's swinging through the ball. Did he connect with him with significant force? Yes. Can I call it excessive? No, because he's swinging for the ball. It's one of those high sticks in hockey. The follow through is not considered a high stick. Even if you gore the guy, if you're taking a slap shot and he's coming forward and he gets you with the stick, it's not a high sticking man. You could be completely slit open. Tell me I'm wrong. And yes, I could be a Canadian homer. And he's going to go have a look. So that means that the VAR guys think that it should be a red because they're only going to send him over if they want him to have a look at it. That's what I mean. Schaffelberg, that's what he does. He's a pit bull. He goes after the ball. Well, I think, Kim, because the question of whether it was excessive or not is dependent on what you take from that follow through. Like, is that excessive? And to Brendan's point, Schaffelberg is up there hard late for the challenge. And I don't know if the player expected him to be that close when I think he was just looking to lump the ball down the pitch, and all of a sudden Schaffelberg's there. At the same time, that's a straight boot heel to the inside. He's reaching. It looks like he's going for the pocket. He's off. Take back the yellow. Flash the red. It's 11v10. Let's go. Come on. I actually think that they got them backwards, but it doesn't matter. The football gods rectify the circumstances, and people will think I'm maybe crazy. But if the question is excessive, then that means it's beyond what you would expect. And if I'm the defender there looking to lump the ball down the field, I've made contact with the ball, I've kicked it forward, and yes, on kicking the ball, my follow through has left my boot exposed for the cleats to be able to make contact. I can call it substantial force, I can call it significant force. But there's no intent. There's not excessive. He's playing the ball. But hey, I will take it, and they should be down to 10 men in any event. I'm curious if you guys saw the same thing. Kim thinks I'm crazy. Hey, I can be a VAR official too, Kim. I just flipped a coin. But it does. It makes up for the headbutt. And I will say, significant for like Euros and this competition where the yellow cards mean so much, and more so the Copa America where they've been allowing the physicality to go. There seems to be consistency. Yeah, and that's what I think is. Do you think they talk in the half about how close they were on missed calls? Do we have another injury? Kalese, he hasn't been tested, but he's rubbing his knee as though he's got a significant problem. That doesn't look like it's dehydration or anything like that. Canadians thinking they're milking it, but it seems odd at 60th minute to start letting the clock run and wasting time already. Orlando City, 107 caps, well experienced, 34 years of age. My coin is better than your coin. I've got a shiny loony. What do you got? Schaffelberg's still getting that treatment. Maybe you're just biased and you're falling a little bit for Schaffelberg because you think you agree with me that he's kind of got the same sort of pit bull mentality as Mullen, working his butt off to try to get Nick ball back. But there's the kick. He makes contact with the ball. It goes through. It hits Schaffelberg, and the follow through ends up clattering into him. Come on, boys. 11v10. Win a game, and let's go to Chile, and all we have to do is get a draw. It's a beautiful thing, and unless Chile pulls out the crazy upset that tonight. But I assume that it's going to be a 2-0, a 3-goal type game in that match. Argentina looking to secure things. I didn't see the bicycle kick to the face earlier. What game was that, in this game? Is it just because? Santa Maria makes his way in. Lapadula's still there. He's got to be... I didn't watch much of the England game. I sort of had it on the background as I was trying to get work stuff done. And then once that work stuff is done, I got to go back onto it afterwards. And then it's going to be a long night of football and madness and chaos. Only one shot so far this half, that to the Peruvians to bring them up to 6. A shot on goal is necessary if we want to get a goal. We are up by a man. Let's play in their mid and let's work together here as Kyle Larin gives a lazy pass forward, but Eustachio collects. Davies with it. He's going to have some extra space to use his speed. Pumps it forward. Jonathan David finds the empty body and not able to get the touch. I would think that was going for Larin, but I think Larin was offside. Loré ends up making contact with it and doesn't get the what he wants on it, doesn't get the shot away that he wants, but I think he was onside. Yeah, if that went straight through the Kyle, it would have been offside. So Loray's got to take that, and I'm okay with it. And he just didn't get good wood on it. Richie Larea, not a closer, not a finisher. Like I've described him twice before as the Band-Aid. That's who he is. He'll play anywhere on the pitch. He'll put in his effort, and he's got skill. But he's not superior in any one area. 63rd minute, 11v10. Get a result. We can be the England of the universe and say that it's a garbage game, but we managed to get the result. But 11v10 with 30 minutes left in the game, you've got to be able to find the net. No, instead it's a Kamal Miller giveaway. God, I hate him. We need to find the center back. Put the 18-year-old from Fulham in there and let him have a crack. Give him his second cap and let him go. Jesus. Earl Grey. Good. I'll take that from you, Earl Grey. I've been wrong before. I don't think I will. I'm here, but I appreciate. I'm probably in the minority on that one. I just look at the rule as to excessive force and be like, could I see myself taking a swing at that thing and having the same outcome? Yeah. Possession equal, by the way, at the point of the red card, so it'll be interesting to see how that changes now. 6 shots to 1, so 5 shots the difference. So we'll monitor that as we go forward. And the passing, we've had more passing and better passing, still 78, 76%, or 78, 74%, not the best. But we move forward, and Kamal Miller. No. But I love you anyway, Brendan. Peru actually improving on the possession and the midfield dominates since the in the 4 minutes that we've played. Kamal Miller taking on the defender, tries to reach over top, plays the ball, player falls. Schaffelberg. The pacey Schaffelberg. Carter gets the tackle in. Santa Maria with the tackle. Come on, Stefan. This is where you show your quality. David leaves it, and Larea doesn't come back for it, and so we just give the ball away. That's how out of sync we are, is even with an extra man, we don't get it, and there's the foul. I mean, that's an obvious foul. You send it the other way, and we'll get some subs out. Bugger me. I almost feel apologetic for drawing you guys. Here comes Tejan. The newly transferred Tejan Buchanan moved over to Serie A. Come on, Tejan. He's got to have a bee in his bonnet. The fact that he came out of the lineup, goes to Inter Milan, and comes back in, plays for the Canadian team, plays every World Cup match, and then has a pretty uneventful, uninspiring game against Argentina and gets yoinked. And his spot goes, and he gets brought back in. So he's a mid who can score. And so let's see how he does. Schaffelberg with another deflection, and it goes to Maxime. Turn this thing. Looking to play it quickly when you got extra men. Instead it's to Alistair Johnston, or is that Schaffelberg? No, that's Johnston. Left foot over to Schaffelberg on the switch. Nice first touch. See, he's got all the skill. He just doesn't finish, and there's the chance. Oof. Kyle Larin trying to get there, and is that a corner or a goal kick? I like Schaffelberg. Like, good first touch, gets it, sees Kyle Larin, and gives him the opportunity, and that gets deflected out, and that's Santa Maria putting it out. Oh, no, it was Larin. I will take more of that, please. And tell me, compare Schaffelberg to Liam Miller, because those are the two that I think should be playing on the left-hand side with Alphonso Davies. And you tell me, am I wrong that Schaffelberg should be getting more time in the 17 minutes, or not even 10 minutes you've seen him, in contrast to Liam Miller and his first half performance? Let's hope. It's been a while. I can't even remember the last time Buchanan scored. You know who I miss? And he's had a step back. He's he's arguably getting up there in age too. Is Sam Adekube. And I thought that he was settled down our left back position and allowed Davies to play forward. So you can then have Davies in the mid without that step back. Liam Miller, Preston North End. And Liam who means you didn't notice him. I get the humor. I'm just plain stupid. David gets it. Schaffelberg find Davies. Davies beats him. No. Draws it back in. Schaffelberg there. Tries to get it up over top and can't. Saves it. Eustachio. Go to Buchanan far on the right side. Bad first touch. But he saves it back, holding it up, and he's going to get beat there and drawn back, and he tries to draw a foul, and the flop doesn't work. Here comes Mr. Crepeau all the way forward, because that's what he likes to do. Kamal Miller, don't want him passing the ball, please. Davies with it. Going to beat everybody? No, he's looking. See, I'm okay with that. He's looking for options. Davies looking for options. Doesn't get it. Alistair Johnston's going to have to go collect it. 22 yards out, still no threat. Lots of space. Just cross that thing in, bud. And that's horrible. That is a poor cross. That's one of the poorest crosses that you'll see. And maybe he just had too much time and space. Lapadula coming off for Guerrero. He just kicked it back to Kamloops. Well done, Kim. I think he was going for Kamloops and he ended up in Prince George. BC humor. For the English, that might sound bad. He just ended up in Prince George. Not what I meant. There's a city here named Prince George. Guerrero, is he the free agent? No, 139 goals, 120 and he's a 40-year-old, so he's coming out in the heat in the last little bit. The Stephen Fletcher of the Peruvian team. Oh, yeah, bad little header, and it rolls off of the back way, and Fortunately, we've got extra space. Osario, Eustachio, Johnston. Come on, Johnston. Over to Bombito. The more I see this kid, the more I like this kid. Run it all up there. Pull an EOC. Touched over to Davies. Davies, we've built it all the way forward. He gets swept out, but picks himself up. And here's an opportunity in the box. I would have liked the first shot, but David draws it in. You're a goal scorer, David. Find that shot. Davies, Eustachio. I'm going to get the switch on, going far side over to Osario. Oh, that's Buchanan came all the way back. Johnston. There's Osario. A little bit more quality here with the extra space. Maybe we just find in our game, I don't know, combination of the two, but the passes are improving. And Schaffelberg with time and space. Find the cross. He's those heavy, and you can see Jonathan David saying, I had it on, if you put it on the deck right here, I was standing right here, and I think that was the play. But Schaffelberg really likes those hard passes, allowing somebody to run onto the ball. I want to see this replay again to see where David was and whether he was as open as he was reacting. And he's there. David is there. He's got his left foot ready, and instead he goes to try and find the far post. I'll take that. We're growing. Davies, Schaffelberg. Not a shot on target. That's an interesting battle for the ball as it gets trapped under their bottoms. And so it'll just be a free kick. The safe option from the referee. What do you... Need to get in there with the sticks and dig that out. I actually thought Santa Maria played that one pretty well. Oh, boy. Chile on Saturday. We'll be there for that one. Ooh, Davies, what were you doing? Bicycle kicked a pass over to the Peruvians and have given them a free opportunity. He's just not looked good. And it's crazy because he looked 2 years ago during the World Cup qualifying. He was everything and everywhere at all times, and he just doesn't have that magic anymore. Kamal diving to save possession, and Eustachio flicks it out, and he says it went off the foot. I don't think it did. The broadcaster's saying it went off, but it looks straight out to me unless there was a very light little touch there. The way that Eustachio's reacting, he's shocked, but camera angle, maybe one of those ones where it was tricky to see whether it actually flicked over top. But here comes the long throw into the box, headed up. Kyle Laren gets on the wrong side of the ball, but it gets missed, and now comes Laren. Schaffelberg, flick it through, finds an open man. Come on! Put that through, David! Yes, man! Yes, man! Thank you. Ah. Relief is spelt D-A-V-I-D. Schaffelberg with a beauty pass into a full sprinting David who's able to collect the ball, put one guy away, and find the corner and put it in. Thank you. Mr. Schaffelberg deserves to start. We can take the Liam Miller experiment and set it aside. He can come on as a sub. There's quality there. But you need to have Schaffelberg, the Paul Mullen of the Canadian squad, he doesn't have the shot. But everything else, he just has that touch. Great pass through. Boom, far post, off the pole, it's in. Thank you very much. And for the first time ever, I get to do this. Ding! 1. Boop. Whoa. Oh. Thank you. Now we're up 1. Now we keep pushing. Goal differential still matters. We don't take a break on this one and start saving this. I mean, don't run ourselves out of it. But we still go forward. 75th minute. Is that what they've got on? It's 75th minute? On the scoreboard in the background? Because then I've got a... I'm behind. Somehow my clock ended up getting me behind. I will bump us forward to 75-32. That's never happened before. That's a new experience. Oh my God. Missing the entire game. You're exactly right, but and maybe I'm just high. Maybe I'm just crazy, Kim, but that's what I've been saying Canada can do. And when you see momentary glimpses of that level of quality, you think, how do we get more out of it? So you bring in Jesse Marsh, who says, I'm going to be offensive. I'm going to trust that these guys are going to be able to make the plays. And they don't. And you're like, why are we not connecting here? And so finally, Jonathan David. Is that a milestone goal? Why do I have a feeling that that's a milestone goal? No. Not a milestone goal. That's his 27th. He's now 2 behind Kyle Larin for the most goals. See, I think Schaffelberg is like Canada's best kept secret. And you know, playing in Nashville, not to insult Nashville, but it's not really a hotbed of football. When you think of teams in MLS, and there's Schaffelberg again, and he's onside. Gets the cross in, and well done. Kyle Larin saying, I'm over here. If he can slow the game down to be able to necessarily see that he had Kyle Larin there, you remember the first pass over where he could have given it to Jonathan in the middle. He found that the obvious pass there and was able to get it through. But a little bit more vision with all of the pace and the skill and the quality that he has. I just think that his pace down that left-hand side, and it allows you to put Davies up, or Davies back if you need to, and they can interplay with each other. I am in love with that combination. It still leaves our right side a mess. But just bring the ball over to the left every time. And there's Davies looking, and he just gave up on that one. Didn't know what he wanted to do, and now he's got to work extra time. Davies just not the same as Peru. Looks to fight back. Can I get Cornelius resubbed back on, please? I don't want to see the pink card, which that's fascinating if you haven't looked at the regulations. Instead of having the concussion substitutes like they have in the EFL, where it just happens by nature of course. If somebody comes out with a concussion sub, both teams get an extra sub and an extra window. They've added a pink card to the equation that they actually will show a pink card to say, hey, both sides, you get your subs. Kamal Miller keeps it in. He's still got work to do. And Eustachiou comes back and saves it and draws it to Crepeau, who just says, I'm going to get this to safety, please. Schaffelberg coming back. The shadow's starting to pull over the entire stadium. And we have a sub. Cueva. Awesome pass, said Marie. Great pass, said Kim. Whew, and W&G, welcome back. He's probably been lurking in the background and just eavesdropping, I imagine. But it's time to bring up the statistics and see where we're at. Up to 3 shots. That was our first shot on target, by the way. It took all of that time to get our first shot on target. And it went in, but they say of the 3 total shots, 3 big chances. Our expected goal, our XG, is 1.18 to their 0.49. Schaffelberg draws it forward, gets it to Larin, just draw it back, hold up. Oof. We'll take it. We'll take it. I think that was part contact, part flop, but I will take it. Santiago's back. We're looking for that Venezuela-Canada quarterfinal matchup. Venezuela win the group. Ooh, the Peruvian fans, or the Peruvian coaching squad is all over the place. I don't know if they're... Jesse Marsh giving it back. The coaches are in it. The captain coming back. Davies looking to settle everybody down. I don't know what happened on the sidelines, but the coaches and Jesse Marsh are looking to get into it. Now I have to look up who's a part of the technical staff wearing the red, with the red ginger beard, because he was right in there with the smiles and the chuckle, looking like he was ready to go. Davies, long boot, finds Schaffelberg, who's got the pace, and that's what you do. You just play into him, and it gets cleared out, and we're going to get a corner. I love this kid. I love this kid. Kentville, Nova Scotia, the only maritime Atlantic province player on the roster. And I say go back there, drum up the well, because He's just a lot of fun to watch. It's only his 12th cap, 24 years of age. And there he is trying to get it on the short corner, doesn't get it. And it's going to be cleared long. And Bombito just makes a smart choice and thumps it out of danger. David all the way back. Johnston draws it forward. Osario flicks it forward. Offside. I don't know whether he was put on by the other defender there, but Tejan not able to get it. If I wanted to get greedy, I'd like to see Buchanan do some things. And Davies, instead, he's going to get pulled and held, but he says no, pulls through, finds the kick over to Schaffelberg. Sees so much trust that Davies hasn't. He wants it back, and Schaffelberg missed it. He was right there. It was the right call. Trying to get it back to Davies. He just wasn't able to pull that through. Davies, put your head back. Put your head down and get into it. Whew, we're getting a little bit of excitement into this one. It's taking a while. It's taking a while to draw the drama. Only highlight reels, shots on goal. That's just it. Even though the first one that they called a big chance, well, that was a flop. Are we going to get a yellow for a simulation on that one? To be fair, Eustachio is not a flopper. So the fact that he went down makes me think that maybe he did actually get grabbed. Oluwase, his second cap. And both. Oluwase. And the other one was just in a friendly. So the Minnesota United man, no goals. He's a forward. He's going to come in and take a Kyle Laren's spot. And Oluwase, 24, born in Nigeria. And I actually don't know his story. I mean, I know the story of Davies, obviously, born into a refugee camp and then grew up in Edmonton and came over. And I know Kone, born in the Ivory Coast, but I don't know his story. But yeah, Oluwase, he had 6 minutes against France. He's going to get 8+ on this one, and so good for him. And let's see what he's got. Sitting in the middle of the pitch, playing in that 9 spot. Buchanan just gives it away and then commits the foul. %53%, so the possession stats not really changed. The expected goals continue to climb for Canada, and the passing and the accurate passes, and you'd expect that with them being down by a man. Big chances missed too. Like, according to this, if you looked at FOTMOB, you'd be sitting there thinking that we dominated this game, but I don't think that that's the case at all. And I don't think that it's the red card that substantively helped us on the stats other than the passing. And danger, crossed in, nobody there, and it's just going to go harmlessly into the side netting. And the Peruvian coach not impressed. I do love that we're able to show a little bit of Concacaf able to deal with the South American squads, although obviously Peru not one of the top teams. We'll see how we do against Chile, who's closer to the mids, and then hopefully we can draw into these quarterfinals and get into some one-offs. Well done by David too. Like, Kaleze, the keeper, 109 caps, 107 caps. His 108th today. 108 caps. He came well out. Not a lot to shoot out, surprisingly. But David able to find it. Mike Lewis, how are you? Oof. That one was a bullet. Unfortunately deflected. It's going to go out harmlessly, and I think they're going to get their corner over on the opposite side as they move forward. A dangerous set piece. This is what Peru's got to go for. Down by a man late in the game. These are the chances that they're send an extra body forward, leave yourself exposed in the back, try and draw one and get into it. And you can tell the coach is into it. His eyes are about this big. Oh, did that go to a goal kick? I thought that was a cannon that got deflected. Oh. Give me the replay as we just give that one away. .423. He's asking for the 423. Well, welcome to the madness as is the Copa America. If you've been watching the Euros, this is the physical, like, old school, take your boots and deal with it type of play. The game's been fascinating. You see the red card that's there. There should have been a red card for a headbutt. Wasn't given. And then there was a red card that most say should have been red. I actually think it was yellow just based on what they've been calling previously in this tournament. I don't think it was excessive force because the guy was kicking and following through on the kick. But the referee didn't agree with me, and maybe that was the football gods making up for the last one, as Peru sniffing around outside the 18-yard box, and it's going to get cleared away. Nice little dance by Davies, and that's what he can do, but that's the first time he's done it all game, and I don't necessarily like that he tries it so much. Looks for Oluwase. It got caught up in the defender's legs. He thought it was going to go away, and then it snuck through, and Oluwase not able to get there, looking for his first international goal and only his second cap. And his first real tournament competition. This is not the friendly against France. And I haven't been watching Oluwase, to be fair, as far as potential new caps go, new name, and there goes Schaffelberg, doing what Schaffelberg does and just kamikazing into opportunities, open space all over the place, and he's looking for a pass. Find it. Find Oluwase. Do a thing, and he's going to take a shot. Yeah, tried to do it himself and get it all through, and it's not there. Tejan Buchanan collects it. Peru not coming out to Tejan, so he goes to the byline. He's right there. David's right there. There it is. Oh, David! I FIFA'd that thing. I saw that whole play developing. It was like, get it to David, and David, I dropped my controller and I didn't get the kick away. 4 minutes left. Man, this would be Canada's first win in a long time. Is a flop on a fend off to the neck. And here comes Peru. Oh, you're too slow. Come on, Miller. Just brutal center back. Crepeau able to get it up in the air and leave it to get it cleared by Bombito, who is a capable center back. Kamal Miller doesn't have the pace to play at this level. Like, if I was Peru, I'm coming down the right side every time and I'm just running at him the whole time. Schaffelberg back doing Schaffelberg things. Ooh, got to be more secure than that. And there it is. Give it up. Flip it up over top. There you go. Let him chase onto it. Go for it. Oluwase, all with that pace. He's going to play it back. And Oluwase makes it from him. He's going in. Get your first goal, kid. Get your first goal, kid. Oh! Oluwase trying to... I would have gone to the middle of the pitch to improve the angle on that one because he had more time. But I guess when you're all excited and things are screaming, let that one fend him off, let it go for the goal kick, and away we go. I'm feeling a little bit of excitement now. It's taken 65 minutes of absolute atrocity football, and Peru going down by a man. And so there's still lots of questions to ask here once we get to the Chilean game. But now we hope for Argentina. Should he have drawn that into the middle? Oh, he tried to go 5-hole and just got too much lift. Too much lift. And Kim, your theory of highlight reel opportunities, that's all we get, holds true to on this one. Schaffelberg not able to get there. Canada's first ever goal in the Copa America. That is absolutely true. Osorio, add another one because the goal differential matters. Schaffelberg flicked that over. Come on, boys. Oluwase! Not able to get the boot up there. I like this kid's pace. He's hungry after it. Yeah, I've been trying to... I'll be honest, West Coast right now is the place to be for football because you get the 6 o'clock a.m. kickoffs. Now that they're synchronized, it's not the same. But early morning kickoffs, follow all three games, and then you add the Copa America for two afterwards. It's like, it's dreamy. Tejan. Nah, can't give the foul on that. Whoo-wee. Forward, Oluwase not able to get to that one on the pass from Davies. As we're getting into finding out how much added time we have, 89 minutes and still moving forward. Nice little play there by the captain Eustachio to flip them, send them backwards. This time of the game, that's what you want. Just be a disruptor. Be a disruptor. I'm nervous. Peru, 18-yard box. Just look in. They're onside. Two defenders there. Tejan all the way back from his midfield position, able to get it and gets it up to David. Got some space. Looks for Oluwase. Can't get it over to him. How much added time? 5, 6, 7. Yikes. Peru going to throw the kitchen sink at him. We're nice and light work. Please. Thank you. Yeah, that cross on David is going to come back. But we're now a -1 going forward with 3 points, assuming that we can pull this off. Maybe don't count the eggs before they hatch. Crepeau. Whoo! And we have a keeper, which, let's be honest, I didn't expect this from him. He's an upgrade on Borjan, and we had Borjan for so long as we've got a man down. Free kick going the other way. I didn't see what happened in either of those circumstances, so I can't even comment. But Buchanan's grabbing his left knee. David went down like he just got shot by a sniper. But Borjan was our keeper for, God, I don't know how long. And I wasn't really a fan. And so I always assumed that Crepeau, who's been our backup for 5 years, and got a couple of occasions, was a step down. So that's why I was looking at Dane St. Clair or Tom McGill to be the goaltenders of the future and maybe get their opportunity in this. And I actually started St. Clair in the Netherlands game. He let in 4 goals. Gave the reins over to Crepeau, who looked good against France. Looked good against... looked really good against Argentina. And he's looked solid here. You hate that opportunity was made available to them. Jesus. Like, that was a hell of an opportunity. Down by a man. But it is what it is, and we survived it for now. But I will not count my chickens before they hatch ever again. We're going to wait. What is up with the clock? I'm seconds ahead. I was seconds behind before. Oh. Peru still coming. Lots of space over on the right-hand side. Is that Kamal? Because that makes me nervous. It is. No, it's Davies. I'm less concerned. Flipped over. Got to be cleared. Banged off. And it's going to go for a goal kick. Well done by Eustachio. Haya. 8 shots to 5. Cueva, great shot on the volley. Crepeau off the bounce, gets the hand on it. Andre, how are you? Everything's fantastic, man. Living the dream and watching some football in the summertime. We are here and back later on tonight, tomorrow morning for you, those of you over in England. 9 o'clock in the morning for the schedule release. Hope to have some chats about Wrexham. So feel free to join that. And a reminder, if you haven't gone over at the end of this, jump over to the Global Watch Along and give a little like there. Would like to see that channel just kind of grow as we do more international games over time. And would like to give that an opportunity to build slowly as these games happen. Where are you, Mike? The ticker that's going below has where the matches are. Oh, that's a flop. But they're going to give a free kick on the push on the back by Bombito. 3 minutes left, set pieces. That's where the danger is when they're down a man. You can't give them, and you know that they're going to be looking for them. And that was yeah, okay. That's a foul. Stupid push. So if you go to livesoccer.net, you should be able to find the matches. Let me see if I can find it while we're at it, because I didn't look up where they're livesoccertv.com, which has been a lifesaver for me because I find so many added games. But I don't know who's picked up the Copa America. Maxime Crepeau, please don't ruin my evening. I don't need that today. That's on target. Crepeau. I don't know if that was on target or not. But he got there, and then a wasted corner. That was a Liam Miller type cross. In the United Kingdom, the Copa America is on. Maybe they're not putting the Copa America on. Fascinating. I actually, of all the channels that are there, I don't see it being provided anywhere under England or UK. That's crazy to me. I'll have to look that one up. Just maybe they want to focus on the Euros, and so nobody wanted to pick up the Copa America. So 60 seconds plus extra time because we had the dual injuries from Buchanan and David at the same time. Well done. Davies lays it in. Is it going to stay in? That looked like glimpses of Panama saving it off the line, and he moves it forward. Well done. 2-on-2. Oluwase and David. David, he's going to keep it. It's there. Lays it back. Well done. Keeps some possession. I like that. Davies finds Schaffelberg. Go to the corner flag, Jacob. Stand over on the corner flag. Nudges it out for the throw-in. 20 seconds, and here comes Peru as Canada was back waiting for them, and Tejan Buchanan flicks it up in the other way and sends it the other way, and it's going to go out for a throw-in. The Peruvian substitutes running for the ball. The Canadians looking to deflect it, and they finally get it and grab it and throw it back in. All of the fun is on the sidelines. Well, that was the Canadian players running to go and grab that one and gain possession of it, and that gets flicked on. Kamal Miller heads it away, puts it onto a Peruvian defender's foot. Come on, Kamal Miller. Headed away, finds a Peruvian foot. Tejan Buchanan heads it away. David should be able to get that one. Keep moving your feet, Get it to Oluwase. Oh, I thought that was a foul. I thought he held him up, but instead it's going to be either a throw or free kick, and they blow it down, and Canada with its first win at the Copa America. Woo! We got a chance to advance. That's all you wanted from this one, is a chance to advance. And so now the Argentina, I'm not going to be live streaming that one, but the Argentina-Chile game is an important one. Hoping Argentina absolutely fills the net on that one, and we can go into the match against Chile on Saturday needing a draw to advance, but it depends on the outcome. It's either a draw or a win to advance. Peru, they need a lot of help now to advance. They're going to have to beat the Argentinians, and they're going to have to out-goal differential everybody to advance. Well done. The first loss to Peru in 2024. Is that true? Because that's crazy if it is. And I believe you, Kim. I believe you. Let's go to Copa America. No, not Copa America. CONMEBOL. World Cup qualifying wiki. Peru, they drew Venezuela 1-1. Oh, that's in 2023. So they haven't played a World Cup qualifier this year. All of their World Cup qualifiers were started in 2023 in September. 0 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. One of those against Venezuela recently, but Canada's in the mix, and it's what we've said. It was a horribly ugly game till they went down to 10 men, but we did the job. And to be fair, Peru should have gone down to 9 men. That's the consequence of the physical nature of the football that they try to play, is you walk the line, and that can be the outcome. Hey, thank you so much for joining. That was a lot of fun. It was nice to see you guys again. The old familiars stopping by, and it's much appreciated. Online at 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific, 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern, 9 o'clock in the UK, probably about 15 minutes, 30 minutes early to talk about the matches, who you want to play. So think about those. Who do you want for the 5,000th game that Wrexham plays? Do all that sort of stuff. And then on Global Watch Along, and then we'll be there the following evening after. So if you can't join us tonight at 1, you can join us tomorrow. It'll be 3:30 my time in the morning, ugly. 6:30 out on the West Coast, 11:30 in the UK for the EFL Cup draw. That one very interesting because we could end up pulling a championship team out of the hat for the northern section. And then we're back with the Global Watch Along and the Red Horde combined for the Canada versus Chile game. And we'll see if we can advance as second in the table. And the opportunity to likely take on Venezuela or Mexico in the quarterfinals, with the winner advancing to probably play Argentina in the semis. So it's a good time. Football. Awesome. I don't know what else to ramble on about. I'm going to get back to work here. Can I bring up my thing to see if anybody's been chatting, because it hasn't popped up for a while. Oh, there we are. Yeah, well, I'm not even looking at first place. I would rather have WNG. I'd rather have Argentina just secure 9 points and beat the tar out of everybody. I don't see there being a huge, massive difference between Venezuela and Mexico in quality. And so I just want the certainty of going on. But that is a great sport. There we go. Copa America is on Premier Sports in the UK and Ireland. It's a specialty paid service. And thank you, Brendan. I appreciate everybody being here. It's just nice to see you guys. Lucky Looney at Center Circle. If you don't know the story, that goes back, and I believe it was Salt Lake City, Utah. Birmingham versus Wrexham. That's the one that you want for 5,000. I'll take it. I don't really care who, to be fair. I just think that it makes sense to have that game at home. It's a big milestone moment. It should be at the KRAS. So we shall see. Much love, much happiness. I'm going to end the stream, get back to work, dive back into things, and soak up everything that has been great. Thank you so much for being here. This was chaotic, ugly. But at the end of the day, Canada was able to do what they needed to do and eke out 3 points, and we're in it. We're in it. Enjoy the Argentina-Chile game if they want it. It's reported that Birmingham wants it in the U.S. It's never EFL rejected it. It would make sense, arguably, if Wrexham was over here and Birmingham wanted to give away one of their home games to play and make some money, and Wrexham says, well, if you're doing it, we've got the travel issues, so you're going to have to financially compensate us for it. But to me, EFL football is different than the sports that we watch in North America, where we're used to that instance happening, and the desire to push the game of hockey or the game of tackle football or baseball beyond the borders of North America obligates us to end up going and reaching out, where football is a global game and it's a tribal game. And we signed up to be a part of this Wrexham experience, and so I don't want that to happen. But if it did, I'd look to see if I could go. Friendlies are friendlies, but like a game that mattered and had points on the board, I feel obligated to find a way. But we'll be there for the release of the schedule. Come and join us tonight. The links are down there. Like button before you leave would be appreciated. Subscribe if you're here and you're eking in the background and you haven't joined us in the chat. And thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you later on tonight. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.